Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse Syndicate show with Quis. I didn't think you were going to be able to join us, brother. I'm so glad you did.
Yeah, I have to make sure I pull up.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
especially after a win. I can't show up every time we lose and then disappear after we finally get a W. Been a long time.
Crazy. That was a crazy win. It's my first live Knicks game in 3 years.
Hey,
and
it took you out the loop.
It was a tremendous win. I think they won for me.
Yeah, right.
After all this suffering.
Not go front though. They had me a little nervous. I sent you a voice note during the game. I'm like, that feeling you're feeling right now is how I felt at the Nets game.
Oh, there was something about it where when the lead got cut to 12, was that how tight it got?
Yeah, right around there.
Yeah. There was just something about, because the cool thing about being there live is you get to look at whatever you want to look at. And I sat on the visitor side, so unfortunately I couldn't see the faces. But, they turn, they look at each other, they talk, the body posture, you see their demeanor. Mm-hmm. They did not look like they were going to let that game slip away. So, but still, Clippers, cut it in half. Yeah. So I was like, oh.
And they have a history of comeback games. So I was a little nervous, but luckily, we were able to withstand any kind of assault they did try to throw at us, even though they couldn't make any shots out there. And luckily, our young guys were able to seal a deal. That, I think, was the best part of the game for me. Being able to see that.
This is what we've been crying out for all season. So, just so you guys know, thank you guys for joining us. Really appreciate it. This is going to be actually it's going to be about half and half. A recap of last night's game, because I went to the game and then went out and celebrated. Went to Little Tokyo, hung out, made some new friends. It was a lot of fun.
Good.
Yeah, we were celebrating. Everybody was like talking Knicks and stuff. It's so many Knicks fans in LA.
Yeah, we took over.
Yeah,
and I'm happy that was the case, because when the Lakers were here in the Garden, I went to that game, and there were way too many Lakers fans for my liking. So the fact that we were able to go to quote unquote the crypto.com arena and make sure we made our presence be felt, I'm happy for that.
It was a beautiful sight, actually. There's a lot of blue and orange around the arena. Mm-hmm. It was odd, there was like a Spreewell jerseys, Johnny Starks jerseys, all the old ones and new ones, everything, man. It was actually a great vibe. I've been to a couple of Clippers games. They're always a lot of fun. It was like it must have been like Mexican night or something, because it was like they had a mariachi band playing.
Yeah, what is that? Los Clippers?
Los Clippers, yeah. So that was fun. It gave you a different vibe than usual. Mm-hmm. And then once we do the recap, we're going to go and preview the Kings game. So, first thing, just before we get to the stats and all that stuff, Keith, what was your initial, how do you feel now about this game? I know we kind of talked about it already a little bit, but we can go a little deeper in it. Did you see anything in this game that wasn't just like a fluke, or is it stuff that you think?
No, I think I saw a lot that was sustainable, especially with that second unit. I think when the team was actually winning some games earlier on in the season, that second unit was buoyed by our young guys. So we saw the baby Bakas once again with that second unit, and they were able to extend a lead early in the game, because I think they were the ones that pushed it up to about 19, 20 or so. And then when they put Julius Randle back in, that's when they were able to chip it away to 12, and we were able to, at least get to the halftime with some sort of a cushion. But I like seeing those young guys out there. Deuce finally got some minutes, and I would say meaningful minutes. It wasn't just, 2 minutes there, 3 minutes here. He actually got sustained playing time, and he was able to get into a rhythm, I would say, with his teammates. And you can look at also his plus minus. I mean, he didn't score until the fourth quarter, but the team just was taken to another level just by his energy on defense. And I think that is something that is going to force Tibbs' hand. I think that's what I really liked about this game. We saw the young guys kind of force the issue.
I think we're going to give Deuce a new nickname. We're going to call him Sheriff McBride. He had Reggie Jackson locked up in the county jail, man. Reggie couldn't do anything with Mitch on him. showed last night, I think I tweeted this out, that he has all the stuff that we were suspecting about him is real. That his defense wise, whether the playmaking and the shooting and all that stuff, we've seen it obviously you saw it live in Westchester.
Yep, in the G League.
Yeah, in the G League.
But of course, the NBA is a different animal, so it's going to take him a little bit of time to kind of develop his offensive skills. But defensively, he's going to be a major contributor as long as you give him the minutes, and it's all on Tibbs now.
Exactly. He does struggle with taller guards on him.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed.
He also has to watch how physical he is out there, a little over aggressive at times, and gets fouls called. So that's another thing he's going to have to work on.
That stuff would just more floor time. It'll come. He'll understand. How much pressure, But I loved how he got up right in the grill of the offensive player. He just rattles.
That's what you want.
The closeouts overall by the whole team were on point. I mean, it was actually a fantastic defensive effort. I mean, the Clippers have been hot.
Mm-hmm.
But they had won 5 in a row.
Yeah,
they had beaten some pretty good teams. They're 34 and 32. Let's see. They had beaten. They beat the Clippers. They beat the Rockets. Who else did they beat? They beat the Rockets and the Clippers. So they played the Rockets and Lakers twice in the last 5 games. It's kind of odd, but anyway, I was very impressed with the team. And in the beginning, Alec Burks came through. He set the tone in the first quarter because Julius was 0 for 7.
Yep,
he looked terrible. I thought the exact opposite was going to happen. I thought coming off of what he did in Phoenix, where he was cooking, and then he lost his mind, which is now like a weekly occurrence with Julius. Like, what kind of crazy shit is Julius going to do this week? Next thing we're going to see him like slap a priest or something.
George, you better be careful what you say about him, man. You might see some tweets directed your way.
Man, I'm not stepping in that. I'm just talking about the crazy shit he does on the court. Hey, shout out to the chat. Let's see who we got in here, man. Sincere to Genius, welcome. Thank you for joining. Hey, Lex the Destroyer, thank you so much, brother, for joining us.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Best mod
supporting the live stream.
Yeah. New Yorker, what's up? Vaskin Markarian. Wow, that's a good name.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Salute, fellas. Despite RJ's inefficiency in the last 2 games, I see him learning on the spot, trying new moves, evolving his offense arsenal. Let's go. Absolutely. His efficiency actually has not been that good. In fact, I got some numbers. I was developing a whole other video, and then I ended up going to the game and just screwed it all up. But he has not been that efficient. In the last 12 games, not including last night, he was shooting 40.1% overall from the field.
Well, he'll get a little bit of a bump, right? What did he shoot? 44% in the game last night?
Oh, no, last night, 44% last night. But last night, yes, he did. Yeah, 44%. But his volume has increased. He's shooting 5 more. He's taking 5 more shots per game than he was the previous 13 games. So I looked at a 25 game chunk
window.
Yeah, window. And I split it in half, the last 12 and the first 13. And the previous 13, he was shooting 42.2%. And but his 3-point shot was at 40.3%. So the 3-point shot has come on big.
And he shot, 50% yesterday?
Yes. Yeah, just 1 of 2.
1 or 2.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's what was the difference. Now, the Clippers don't really have, a bona fide rim protector right now. So if you noticed, we feast on teams that don't have. Yeah, because RJ gets in the paint. Cam gets.
Mitch gets the offensive rebounds.
Mitch was a beast.
A beast.
God. It feels. This, I gotta say, I think this might be the best win of the year for the Knicks.
Especially after the long losing streak.
Yeah,
it was refreshing. Definitely refreshing. Especially, I'm sure a bunch of Knicks fans were up late on a Sunday night cheering that team on, trying to get that win. Even though they, we crack jokes and say Tank Commanders, but it just feels good to get that win, and especially when it's driven by guys like RJ, Cam, Quick. Yeah, we had Alec Burks chipping. You like that? He's able to chip in. Yeah, but it was still led by some of our young guys, and that's what you really want to see as the season progresses.
Yeah, RJ was 8 of 18 last night, but 9 rebounds, 4 assists.
George, I can't hear you.
Oh,
is it
RJ?
Me
you can't hear me? Hello, can you guys hear me out in the chat? Hello, I can hear you. Anyone hear me?
Okay, now I hear you. Now you're good.
Okay.
All
right, cool. Cut out there. RJ, he had 9 rebounds, man. We had three guys in double-digit rebounds, and then RJ had 9. And you know who had double-digit rebounds?
Mitch.
Quickly. Here we go. Look at this. So this is the team stats. So the Knicks defense was smothering, man, and they also missed a few open looks, the Clippers. But that's kind of what happens when a defense applies so much pressure on you that even when you finally get an open look, you're out of rhythm already.
Yep.
So you got to kind of regain that. And there was not much for them in the paint last night. Even though they got 36 buckets, we had 50. We even outbreak them. We had 13 fast break points. They only had 9. The rebounding, though, 57 rebounds to 43. Emmanuel Quickly, his first. I didn't realize it was his first double-double of his career.
Oh yeah,
yeah, first double-double of his career. Derek asks, George, did you see Kendra and CP of KFTV on Twitter? Wild. Randall has to go. Yes, I did. I did see it.
I kind of hinted at it, but if you weren't on Twitter, you didn't know what I was talking about.
I can't really comment on it, to be honest. I think it's silly that she lashed out at CP in that respect, and it's just one of those things. You just kind of avoid each other. Every people have jobs to do. Her job is to protect her man. CP's job is to bring, the coverage of the Knicks to the fans. He's the bridge for that. He runs Knicks Fan TV. He's a commentator, an analyst, and a host, and he's excellent at it. And in doing that, sometimes you're going to say stuff that's going to annoy people. But it's it doesn't really matter in the end of the day. We're still going to keep doing whatever they do. How about you? You can, if you want to chime in on that, you're welcome to.
It was just a little petty spat. I didn't think it was really something that should have been handled out in public. I feel like Knicks Fan TV is big enough a platform, and she has a big enough a platform that could have been handled behind the scenes. I didn't think all the Knicks fans all over the world, all over Twitter, needed to really see that there might have been a rift.
I think that was her intention, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I say it
wasn't like she wanted to talk to CP and hey, no, she wanted to expose him and shame him.
But it backfired because the people that rock with Knicks Fan TV, they're gonna hold down CP, so they definitely showed up in big waves to support him. So that definitely was dope to see. Seeing that the people that take in Knicks content were there to hold him down and support him when you have a major figure like that trying to come at him.
And honestly, she picked the wrong guy.
Macri
and I are probably harder on Randall than anybody. So, looks like CP was the sacrificial lamb. He was the shield. He took the bullets for us. Thank you, CP. Sorry.
That's what happens when you're the big fish.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Hey, we're gonna shoot into a crowd. You look for the biggest head. Man. But let's get back to this thing here. Let's look at the box scores here. So look at you were mentioning Miles McBride, a plus 27 in just about 18 minutes. 1 for 3. You can see his 3-point shot. until he starts figuring out how to get a little more space and separation from the defender, he might struggle in that. How did he look? How was he guarded out on the 3-point line when you saw him in Westchester?
Well, I mean, the defense isn't crazy in the G League, to be honest with you. So he was given some room to operate, but it's a different animal in the NBA. So I think that's why Tibbs might have had a little bit of hesitation, because it might take some time for Deuce to be able to create some separation for himself, especially off the dribble. But with the way the offense is run, most of the time you're going to see Deuce, taking a three off for like a catch and shoot situation, as opposed to him trying to create for himself when he's out there with like RJ or Julius Randle and things like that. So, I mean, it's something he'll definitely have to work on. But his form looked good.
Yeah. I mean, his form looks good. It's just he's short, so it's hard to get over. I mean, when a guy like Coffey, who's 6'7", guarding you, it's rough. Luke Kennard is 6'5", Terrence Mann is 6'5".
And make sure you get the last name correct too, George.
Wait.
They've been coming at me in the recap. I called him Kennard instead of Kennard. Okay.
You call him Kennard?
Yeah, they've been beating me over the head for it all day.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
My apologies. Apologize,
hilarious. Oh, I butcher names left and right. I didn't even pronounce Jokovitis for like a month and a half. I avoided pronouncing Jokovitis.
I pronounced it like they said during the game. Jokovitis.
Look at Reggie Jackson. Okay, so let's look here. Cam. Let's talk about Cam. Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish scored. Wait, I believe he scored 15 points in the fourth quarter. Let's jump to the fourth quarter. Yeah, 15 points in the fourth quarter. Crazy. Jump back to this. What did you see last night in Cam?
Well, if you really want to understand the fourth quarter, you have to look at the second quarter. And I think, in my opinion, I felt like Cam was a little frustrated that the guys weren't getting him involved in the offense. So you saw in the fourth quarter, it was funny because you weren't watching the broadcast, you were there live. When Cam got that steal, yeah, definitely different. But when Cam got that steal,
and when you're sitting on the player's side, you're seeing the game the opposite way that we normally see it on TV.
You see it.
Yeah.
Yep. So when Cam got that steal and he went to go bring the ball or go into the fast break and got fouled, Clyde was on the broadcast saying, hey, he has to keep his head up. RJ was open, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm watching it and I'm like, Cam's head was up. Cam just made that conscious decision that he wasn't going to pass in the quarter. And I think if you look at the entirety of the fourth quarter, I don't think he passed. I texted you that as well, right when he got fouled. I said, Cam has that look in his eye where he is not going to give the ball up. And he showed how versatile he could be, because he was able to score in a multitude of ways. He was able to attack going to his right with a nice layup. He was able to knock down threes in one catch and shoot situation. He knocked down another deep three off of Deuce McBride missed. That was a long rebound. And I really liked the fact that he was aggressive and he decided, all right, if these guys aren't going to get me involved, it's time for me to get myself involved. So I think that was big for Cam, especially seeing that he was able to find success. So that's something he can always look back on if he has some struggles throughout the season, because you expect there to be peaks and troughs. So that's something that he can now build upon, I think, moving forward. And he should also build some trust with the coaching staff and also with the players, because, Emmanuel Quickley's out there running point. He doesn't look for Cam often. So now that Cam, I think, was able to have this offensive explosion or offensive outburst, maybe Quick looks his way a little bit more, because Quick did find him for a nice catch and shoot three after he was able to get into the paint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he only took like 6 shots, right? 7 shots, 4 of 7, 2 of 4 from line. His 3-point shot.
And it doesn't, but also you can also add another 4 to that, because look how many free throws he took. He took 8.
He actually, to me, he showed that he has the whole package. The whole package to become a star in this league. I mean, what type of level of star? There's different levels, but just the game looks so effortless for him. He did that one move from the left side, crossed through the paint.
He drove right.
right
and
past
the layup.
Like, I think it was Kennard, and like I think there were two other. I think there were three defenders, possibly. Maybe it was just two defenders and another. And he just did that little scoop, so silky. I mean, it was just.
And you know what's funny? We see Obi try that, and it looks clunky.
Yeah,
Obi has tried that same layup a couple times.
Yeah,
but it still looks a little clunky.
Yeah.
But with Cam, it looks effortless.
Effortless. He just has that tremendous length. You know, like he has his physicality is perfect for the modern NBA game. You know, he can defend three different positions. He can even actually, I don't know, he could probably defend four. He could probably give you some minutes at the four defending. You know, smaller power.
He was
forwards.
Playing the four yesterday.
Was he, or was it RJ? See, that's the beauty of what happened last night.
Honestly, I saw a lot of times where on defense he was matched up against a four. So I would say Cam was the one running the four, and RJ was in his natural three.
There you go.
Well, not his natural three, but natural on this team. Even though we prefer RJ at the two.
RJ's really a two.
Exactly.
You know, that's what he was in Duke, and he is a two. You know, he's forced to play the three in the Thibs scheme. But
same way Cam might be forced to play the small ball four in the tip scheme.
I really see a future of those two guys as like RJ sliding to his spot that he should be, which is a two, and Cam as the three. You know, and if Julius Randle is still on this team after this summer coming up, then he'll be the four. But if not, who knows what's going to happen there? There'll be plenty of time to talk about that. Let's check out what the chat's chiming in here. Sam L says, perfect running mate for RJ. Imagine RJ in an offense that isn't bottom three in pace. Yeah. Where you can play in transition more. They all were. Well, you know what? The defense sparked it all. They got stops. I think they held the Clippers from the last 40 seconds of the first quarter to about like 6 minutes in to the second quarter. Clippers didn't score.
Didn't we start the second in like a 16-0 run or something of that nature?
Something like that, yeah. And that's when the separation happened. Oh, yeah, actually, let's go to, we can look here. Yeah, you can see it.
The young guys, once again, was the catalyst for that as well.
It was. Yeah, there it is. You can see right there. Let's look at the second quarter stats here. Yeah, look at RJ played almost the whole second quarter, 10 minutes. Actually, he got subbed out early in the first quarter. And then Thibs did his thing where he brought him in towards the end of the first quarter. Then he just played straight through. Julius, he actually that was his only quarter where he delivered some production. 6 points, 2 of 4, 2 of 3. You know, RJ hit all 7 of his free throws yesterday. He didn't miss one. That was awesome. Mitch, Cam came in. Cam played some great defense. He didn't get to score much. He got the those two free throws that you were talking about. But look at that. He was a plus 19. Miles a plus 16. Quickly got off to a slow start shooting wise, but then he hit those free throws, and in that third and fourth quarter, man, he exploded. Let's go to that third quarter. Actually, it was the fourth. Let me see here. Yeah, 5 of 8. 5 of 8. He only got credited for that one.
Cam and Quick with a catalyst in that quarter.
Yeah, look at that. 11 points for Quick, 15 for Cam. Quickly had 6 assists in the fourth quarter alone. Damn. And look at RJ. RJ only played with them.
Even Ryan A got involved.
Ryan A got in there.
He knocked down a 3. He knocked down a 3. I think, all right.
Yeah. I was just so happy. I was just like, people were talking, because sitting with me were like 10 Knicks fans.
Nice.
So we were like, it felt like I was at the Garden. It was awesome.
Yeah, right. Like it was a home game.
Yeah, totally. Thank you, Derek, for your contribution, brother. Higher ceiling if they peak Cam, Obi, or Grimes? Great question. You want to go first? Can you hear me?
No, not. Let me 1 second.
I heard you.
Now I can hear you through the computer, but not through the
headphones.
One second.
Maybe are those battery or something? Well, I'll jump.
No, I hear you. Go ahead.
No, what? So here's the question: higher ceiling if they peak, Cam, Obi, or Grimes?
Cam easily. I think Cam has the more potential. Cam, he can create off the dribble better than Grimes. I think Grimes can be a better defender just because he has that intensity that Cam might not have every play. But I think if you look at Cam, what he can do offensively, he can knock down the three, he can create off the dribble for himself. And when he decides to actually pass, he can be a pretty good passer and facilitator. We haven't seen that yet. I mean, we've seen some flashes of it.
Yeah, we saw
one of the nice pass to Obi.
Yeah.
But when game? I believe it was the Suns game, or either that or the 76ers game. But I think if you look at Cam, he checks a lot more boxes than both Obi and Grimes. I think Grimes is a little bit limited just because of his ability to handle the ball. That's going to be something that might be his Achilles heel, which is going to cap how high he can go in this league. And then Obi, he's still extremely raw.
Clay has been able to overcome that.
True. Clay has been able to overcome that, but do you see Grimes being in that same caliber of player as a Klay Thompson?
I know, but I see him being in that tree, in that branch, where if Clay is
that player model,
exactly that player model. I think Grimes has the potential to be, one of those perennial top 5 3-point shooters every year in the league. Like the Kyle Korvers, the Clays, Curry is a whole other different beast. But you know what I mean? Like, I think because his shot is replicable. He's got the height and the length to shoot it over, big defenders. And the beauty of him is that he just snaps. His release is so fast and he's so confident with it. And then you see, I think that he has that ability. Now the handle is a whole other story, but I hope it improves.
That'll be his Achilles heel. If he's able to improve that, then that really changes his, I think, career trajectory. But right now, I think it's definitely Cam that has the highest ceiling, and it was on full display last
I agree.
Just how versatile he can be as a scorer. You add the fact that he does have, he can pass and also play solid defense, and he's one of the best, I think, at intercepting passes as well. So he's able to create turnovers and then finish on his own, as we saw yesterday.
Yeah. I think Grimes might be a slightly better passer right now than Cam is. Maybe it's just because we've seen it more.
Yeah, he's had more minutes out there.
Yeah. Obi, I feel bad for Obi. I feel bad for Obi. I mean, he got this hamstring injury at the worst time. He could be thriving right now. We could have used him in that Phoenix game when Dum Dum got himself thrown out of the game.
Oh man!
You know what?
George is begging for a tweet, man.
Don't be calling her out now.
Oh man!
Like Obi could have. He could have come in. He could have finished. We might have. Who knows? Might have been able to pull that game out with him there.
Now Obi has to worry about his minutes.
Yeah,
because you heard,
and that's always been the story.
You got to take one out, right?
Yeah, and that's his entire career. He's had to worry about his minutes. Well, the part of it is he kind of brought it on himself because his 3-point shot has completely disappeared. He's one of the worst 3-point shooters. I think he is the worst 3-point shooter on the team now. Right?
Let's see. I mean, I would assume so.
Yeah, I think he is. We'll verify that. If anyone in the chat knows his 3-point stats, just put it in there, man. Is Grimes playing tonight? I
don't think so.
No, unfortunately.
He still has to be reevaluated.
Yeah. I believe he gets reevaluated on Friday.
Shooting worse than Obi. Obi shooting 22% and Deuce is shooting 19%. But then again, that's limited.
But that's hardly any.
Deuce.
Yeah, how many? That's like 10 shots maybe. Deuce is taken. Or by Obi. But Obi's just look. When he misses, it's like, woo.
Yeah, it's a break.
I feel like someone's going to get hurt by the ball. Because it just, like he just
I don't know what's worse, his three or Mitch's free throws.
Oh, man. Mitch missed all 6 yesterday, right?
Yeah. Oh man, that was brutal to watch.
That was brutal. But you know what's cool about this right here, looking at this? Actually, I don't know how old Ryan is, but no one is over 23 years old that's on that Bucks.
Yeah, we're not going to count Ryan. I don't think he said long term.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually don't even know much about him. I haven't even spent any time thinking about him.
Yeah.
With Thibs, it becomes irrelevant sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So the third quarter, that's when, the Knicks kind of dried up like prunes. And, they stopped hitting buckets, 1 of 6 from the 3-point line. Fournier, he gave us 5 points overall, but 1 of 3, he hit his one, I think it was a layup or whatever. He played that entire third quarter. Now, part of why I was doing all of these notes for that other video, looking at that 25-game chunk, is because I wanted to show to actually statistically show the diminishing returns. When a player plays, when he gets to a certain level of minutes, every single minute after that, you don't just get a little, your efficiency doesn't just kind of drop a little bit. Some players is totally different, but the majority of players, let's say they play, the difference between playing 9 minutes in a quarter and playing 12 minutes in a quarter is dramatic. Those extra 3 minutes, they just don't have it. And then you add the fourth quarter. If the guy's playing 10, 11 minutes in the fourth quarter, those last 6 minutes of the game, those fourth quarter, they have nothing. And that's why the team falls apart in the fourth quarter. Look at this minutes distribution in the third quarter. Why did Randall need to play almost 11 minutes? Why did Mitch almost play 11 minutes? Why did Fournier play all 12? Why not start subbing these guys in earlier?
Makes no sense. And especially when Tibbs doesn't really have the most faith in his bench, at least don't play these guys in big batches of minutes. If he's not going to trust his bench, at least do 5 minutes here, 1 and 2 for whoever you're going to sub in, and then bring him back in or something like that. Don't play him for 12 minutes, then play them for another big stretch of 7 to 8 minutes in the fourth and think they're going to be the most efficient version of themselves.
Yeah. Our communities of our children says we should still fire Thibs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's facts.
I think so.
Yeah.
This
yesterday doesn't change anything.
No, not at all. I mean, the reason that this happened is Thibs was forced to go young and small. Actually, was it the second quarter where he went really small? I believe Julius played some center. Was it the second quarter? Yeah. I can't remember what stretch of the game, but there was a stretch of the game where Julius was forced to play the 5 because Ty Lue went very small. Actually, that might have been the actual third quarter. So, he was at least Thibs was reacting to the game, because that's one thing. We've seen him, like JD always says, template, the template coaching. Actually, I got to watch the one game where Thibs wasn't actually a template coach, and we blew the fuck out of the Clippers. It was awesome. Yeah. Oh man, that was something sweet. That was sweet. I think it depends on how Thibs handles this. I think he can actually sometimes in life where circumstances force us to be in a situation that we've been resisting, and then suddenly things happen and you're forced to be in that situation, and the way you respond to it determines the future. And last night could be a new template that Thibs can follow and replicate tonight against the Kings, and for the rest of the final, was it 19 games we have?
17, that's what games? We would hope.
Yeah. And then who knows? Maybe the team responds. Maybe we actually start winning. The youth continue developing. Cam, look what Cam showed tonight. Cam showed last night. He showed that he's the real deal. He's the real deal. I mean, why we had to wait over 2 months for this is ridiculous. When did
he
get traded here? He got traded here in
it was about what, it was a month or two before the trade
January.
deadline.
It was like January. Yeah, it was a whole month. I think it was a whole month before. I think it was January 10th or something around there.
In that ballpark.
And we had to wait until very recently to see anything from him.
And there's no guarantee he will continue to see minutes because we expect Grimes to come back at some point and we expect Rose to come back at some point. So that's two players that have to be reintroduced to the rotation. And that would mean two players currently in the rotation may see their minutes cut. And that puts Obi and potentially Cam at the chopping block. Well, Deuce as well. Maybe Cam skates free with Deuce and then Obi seeing a reduction in minutes. But that's not what we want in the team. That's not what we want the team to do to accommodate a Derrick Rose. At this point, let Derrick Rose sit out for the entire season, get healthy, and let's continue to play these young guys. And if you think Derrick Rose can continue to be a piece that can come off the bench in the future, then you worry about that next season. But right now, we should be focused on the young guys.
Absolutely. The one thing that to chime in on that, D Rose actually helps the young guys a lot. He lets them flourish. I mean, that's why Quickly was what he was last season, and probably why he's.
Oh, let's see Deuce in that role though, and Rose can continue to help them flourish off the bench and coaching them.
I would love to see Deuce with Rose on the court. Actually, Deuce is nice.
I would too. We can do that next season. This season, I want to see those guys. See,
that's a good point. We could just wait till next season to see that. But even if he's healthy
and in training camp,
in training camp. But
because now if Rose comes back, we don't see Deuce at all.
That's what might happen. And that'll be a crime. Exactly. That'll be a crime. But also we could, Thibs can just kind of gently reduce the minutes of Randall, Fournier, and Burks. There's no reason why those guys ever have to play
so many minutes,
over 30 minutes. 30 minutes should be the top. The most that they play in a game. 29, 20, 21 for Fournier last night was unnecessary. He looks like the way he kind of runs, he looks like Groot.
Funny.
But not as fast as Groot.
Yeah, man. He's got heavy. He's a plotter. He's a guard that plods. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I actually, I've turned around on Fournier. I definitely see that he provides something that is desperately needed. Which is he's a killer. He's a killer shooting wise, and he his curls. He just curls around. Sometimes he just shoot even in traffic. He'll shoot it and he'll snap it up. That fadeaway in the corner, boom. Sometimes the clock's running out. He's a great release valve at the end of a bad possession. Get him the ball, he'll shoot it. He's got to work on that floater and his finishing a little more.
Air ball, the floater. That was the game yesterday, right? Where he shot the air ball?
Yes.
I was like, what is going on? I'm like, Tim's not going to bench him for that?
Yeah.
But I think he had a 3 right after or something like that.
But look at that. 29 minutes for him, right? He was the second most minutes after RJ. That makes no sense. Why he should be 24, 25. So then there's an extra 5-6 minutes, and then you shave Burks down to 22. And definitely Alec Burks. Someone put it in the chat earlier that he should definitely play off ball. He thrives off ball. That's his natural position. And he should fluctuate between 20 and 24 minutes a game each night. So there's an additional 5. So there are, you can find 12 additional minutes just in this lineup for Obi. Now, the problem is when, like you said, when Rose returns, what are they going to do? And Grimes.
Yep.
Yeah, let's talk about that before we. The game's going to start really soon.
The game's going to start in 2 minutes.
Yeah. Well, they always start a little late. Thank you, guys. Atmosphere Audio. Thank you, brother, for supporting the channel. Yes, Foxy, he couldn't make it tonight, but hopefully he'll be on one of the next shows. Yep. Actually, he was on last night with Quis.
Yes, for Sunday stream.
Yeah.
Live on Sports Vibes TV, Sundays at 8.
Don't miss it. Grimes when he returns, let's just jump into it before. There's no way Grimes is going to lose his spot in the rotation.
He might not see the same 30 minutes, especially coming back from the injury, but he'll see at least 20, I think.
And it's okay. He doesn't need to play 30, 22, 24. Again, you can have a bunch of guys that are all averaging 20 something minutes a game, and depending on who's really hot and who's not, they get that extra 4 or 5 minute bump. I don't see why that's so difficult. This is the new template, Thibs. The new template, Thibs.
Template Thibs.
That's right. I know when you're in a hotel in where are they going next? I had this thing up here.
Where are they going next?
They're playing on Wednesday. Where are they going next? Jesus, I had it so much. Dallas. All right. When you guys are in Dallas, when Thibs, when you're in Dallas, when you're in Texas, and you're watching this on your iPad, just remember, you are a template coach, but you can get a new template. And this is the new template. This is the template we want you to follow. We've been demanding this back to last year when we were calling for IQ to get more time, Obi to get more time. And now you have even more. We have a lot of young players on this team, quality ones too.
Yep. You got a solid core.
Very solid.
It was hard to see with Tibbs not giving them minutes, but we saw what they can do against the Clippers, and we need to see more of it. We saw some of it earlier on in the season when they made up the majority of our second unit, and we're at that point the heart of the team. Let's continue to keep those guys involved and play them with the second team and see how they perform for the rest of the season. And we can make decisions now based off the information that we're able to, gather from these last few games, and then we can make long-term decisions on these guys in the offseason. Maybe we trade some, maybe we keep them and continue to move forward with them as part of the young core. But Absolutely. We need to see them out there on the court.
And it's a smart business decision. If you think about it this way, in the summer, it's the off season. There's going to be trades. It's going to be someone's going to become available. And if we don't showcase our young guys now to show the NBA world what they're about, the quality that they are, then we're not going to be able to use them as trading. Like certain ones are going to have to get traded. Certain ones are going to have to get packaged. Let's just play devil's advocate. Let's say Donovan Mitchell. He definitely said, I'm out. They're bumped out in the first round of the playoffs, and he's like, get me to the Knicks. If it happened today, that request happened 2 days ago, we'd have to give up RJ. But if it happened today, we might have to give up Cam. Yeah, but at least you're not giving up your potential superstar guy. Who he's definitely
you may.
But a different one. You got to give up something.
You got to give up something.
Yeah.
Now you have more options outside of RJ for you to weigh.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, let's say, we keep featuring Grimes, and he finishes as one of the top 3-point shooters in the game by the end of the season. Quick keeps getting a lot of burn at the point. And, maybe they feel like, wow, that'd be, Quick, Grimes, and Cam. That's interesting with some draft picks. Okay. And then Donovan comes. It's going to hurt to see those guys go, but that's the way of the world. That's how you become a championship franchise. So it's just a smart business decision to feature these guys. And Leon, this has been his plan. That's why they iced Kemba. And right now there really aren't that many older guys anymore. What do we got? Julius, Burks, and Fournier. Taj isn't playing anymore. Remember Taj? Now Sims is getting those Taj minutes. Look at Sims. For all we know, Utah's like, hey man, that kid, maybe they'll take Sims.
You like that Jericho guy.
Yeah.
Put him in the deal.
Yeah. And then Mitch, I want Mitch to stay. I want him to stay in blue and orange.
Yeah, I want us to re-sign him as well, but it got to be a reasonable price again.
Sorry, I don't want to be big like this. Here we go. All right, the game's going to start soon. The Kings have actually been playing pretty well of late.
Yeah, since the trade.
Yeah. These are the last 5 game stats. We're up to almost 109 points per game. They're 112, 46% for them. Field goal percentage, 44.4% for us. We are shooting the 3-point shot much better than they are, 37.1%. They're at 30.1%. Damn. Well, they got rid of Buddy, and I mean they don't have good 3-point shot anymore. And Halliburton.
Yep.
Rebounds per game, we're leading on that. Steals per game, they almost one more than us per game. And those are blocked. The blocks are about even. It's going to be interesting because Sabonis.
Sabonis versus Randall.
Yeah.
Randall normally steps up for his matchups head-to-head against Sabonis.
Yeah. Do you think, what do you think? You think we're going to be able to get the back-to-back?
Honestly, this to me was the most winnable game on the schedule for the West Coast trip. So coming off of the high of the game against the Clippers, I see us having a fair shot of winning this game. But then again, it is the second of a back-to-back. So we'll see. Luckily, Tibbs was smart enough to rest, guys like Julius Randle. So maybe he'll be a little bit fresher to kind of carry some of the burden in this game if we're trying to win. But I just hope Tibbs continues to play the young guys throughout this game, because if things get out of hand, we've seen Tibbs kind of fall back to his default state, and that's stick with some of the veterans. So if this does become a game where things kind of start to tip towards the Kings, I just hope he has faith in some of the young guys to kind of power through.
Yeah, I see that. I can see that happening. I mean, it's crazy. According to ESPN's Basketball Power Index, the Kings have a 63.8% chance to winning this game. We're at 36.2, and I think they're going to be wrong. I think the Knicks are going to win tonight.
Think so?
There was you could just see the body language of these guys yesterday, and that's what's great about going to the game and seeing that. Like they felt good, they felt comfortable. The trip from LA to Sacramento is nothing. I've flown up to San Francisco. It's nothing. It's almost like driving from here to Santa Monica. It's not that, it's like quick. They probably got into the hotel at a decent hour.
George is speaking to a whole bunch of New Yorkers talk about his driving from here to Santa Monica. We don't know where here is, or we don't know where Santa Monica is.
It's an hour. It's an hour drive.
To
the beach.
Cool.
Yeah. And then on Sundays when it's like beautiful or whatever, like this past Sunday, it was good. It was so much traffic. So it's not that. It's a pretty easy flight in transition, and a lot of times, and we've talked about this, I used to love playing right away. If I had a great game, I wanted to play right away, get right back out on the court. Same if I had a bad game. But if I had like an okay game, sometimes it's nice to have that breather so you can kind of reevaluate. But when you have a great game like these guys had last night, especially the young guys, and they're young, I think they can repeat the effort that they put in last night. I mean, the Clippers are a much better team than the Kings. And then there's that Sabonis Randall dynamic. So hopefully we'll get that W. It'll be nice, because this is exactly what we have been talking about. We want to see Thibs play the young core, and if they win, that is great.
Yep.
We're already, either because if we keep winning, and I haven't done the math and figured it all out, but they're still shooting for the play-in, guys. Just want to let you guys know there's no tanking going on. I've gotten some comments here and there about tanking. I don't know about you. Did you hear anything about tanking in the last night's stream?
Yeah, everybody cracks jokes about, it's time for us to tank, et cetera, et cetera. But
we're not.
Oh, yeah, you don't tank with Tibbs.
No.
There's no reason to tank with Tibbs, because he's not a big developmental coach.
Yeah. What did Brother Contreras say here? Unfortunately, nope, you never know what could happen when we turn thin around. Turn thin around?
Probably this around.
Oh, turn this around. Yeah. RJ dropping 35 tonight. Let's go.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
RJ drops 30. Cam maybe drops 18. Quick another 15, 16-point performance. That's what I'd like to see.
Yeah. Johnny Davis. Oh, I still have some actually from the previous run. I just, I got down low and I was like, wait a second before I order. But yes, there's still some available. You can, in the descriptions of the videos, you can see the information on how to do it. Just email me and work on it. We'll ship it out to you guys. But there are definitely some left. Actually, I wore it all around Little Tokyo last night. Yeah, in the game and stuff. They were, oh, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, I think I'm expecting a nice game. Ooh, look at it. Yen Money. Yen Money says Cam putting in that 40 piece. If you give him 20 plus shots, that would be nice. Yeah, we need a repeat effort of last night's game tonight.
Yep.
That's what because we
need that every night.
We do.
Every night we're good to go.
Yeah.
We can compete with the best of them. But we needed that maybe 20 to 30 games ago. Not this late into the season, but
yeah. Hey, that's the key. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you just go to sportsvibestv.com, you can check it out and you can cop hoodies. Also have a windbreaker too for when it's raining outside.
Yeah, some nice stuff.
Yeah, it's nice quality too. Soft, supple.
Yeah. I want to get one.
Yeah, I'll send you one.
Yeah. I'll send you a cap. Man. All right. I think we're going to wrap it up, man, because we are going
to call the barter system
soon. This was thank you much. Thanks so much for joining me, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Great.
No problem.
We did a little recap. We did a preview. Talked about the how high the ceilings are for Cam, for Obi and Grimes right now. Obi, I'm not gonna pass too much judgment on Obi yet. Gonna wait a little bit.
He's a project. He still needs some time to figure himself out and figure what his role is gonna be in the NBA. And this isn't really the best spot for him to do that, especially behind a Julius Randle and with a coach like Thibs.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think that, one thing that you could also tell live at the game is that, RJ really is the leader of this team now.
Mm-hmm.
Just in persona, just in the way the guys respond to him. And I think that had to happen because Randall's too volatile. When things are going good for him, it's great. But the minute he faces some adversity, maybe it won't be a priest. Maybe it'll be a nun.
They'll have that man up on charges.
Yeah. I hope he gets things together because I don't like to see anyone suffer. But you could definitely see he was suffering earlier in the year.
Yep.
Hopefully he'll get
Hopefully he'll figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching this. My name is George, into the Knicks-Verse. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and subscribe to Sports Vibes TV. Quis is excellent. Actually, he dropped an awesome video. If you want
breakdown video.
Yeah, breakdown.
Yeah, pretty much. I just basically what I said earlier on talking about Cam and what he was able to do in the game. He was able to show how versatile of a scorer he is. He was able to score in a multitude of ways, get to the basket. I liked one play. He was able to attack Batum because you knew Batum isn't fleet of foot, can't stay in front of him. He doesn't have the foot speed. So he just took him, was able to drive to the left and was able to finish over him using that 7'1" wingspan. So he was able to do things like that, knock down the three and play solid defense. So if you guys want to check it out, just head over to Sports Vibes TV and it's the most recent upload.
Yes. The one thing too that I like about Cam is that he's fast, but he doesn't have to use his speed to get past guys either. He's using a lot of what RJ is doing and using his body to protect the ball, and waiting till the last certain second, giving a little bit of a hitch to get that ball because Batum is actually a pretty good defender, especially down low. With their size matched up well, so him scoring on him, that was huge. I remember that moment when it happened.
Took him right with ease too because he brought the ball up. I don't know. I think he got it off of a rebound, brought the ball up, and just went straight to the cup.
The game.
He must have scored within what 5 or 6 seconds.
Knicks are already down by 7.
Damn. No way. What? Get the. How?
Jericho enters. Oh no!
Don't tell me Mitch is hurt.
That Jericho's entering the game. Is Mitch hurt? Is anyone watching it? We're gonna wrap this up because we want to watch the game
there's
ourselves.
No way.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Once again, we will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Oh, what happened?
Boom.